Hey YouTube, it's Leah, your favorite mega church cult survivor, and I'm live. I'm also live on TikTok. Trying to find my phone, man. Here it is. So I spent 18 years in a church cult, as everybody knows, and now I'm online and I'm exposing them up. I'm gonna go live on Instagram as well. If you just bear with me for 1 sec, and I'm live on TikTok as well. I feel like that. Hey Instagram, it's your favorite mega church cult survivor, Leah Lorder, and I'm live on TikTok and I'm live on YouTube, and I've come back on for the part 2. I was just on live not too long ago, and now I'm going to be doing up a part 2. I've just said it on YouTube. I spent 18 years in a church cult, and now I expose the cult tactics and characteristics that they do up in there. So earlier on, just a little recap. I'm not going to go like too much into it, but I was basically speaking about like the ministries that they set up. They attach uniforms to it and they financially exploit people. So buying them a lot cheaper and selling them, they control it. So it makes it mandatory. So there's a lot of like coercive control in these ministries. And then they do a lot of events as well. And there's just a lot of money that you have to pay for. Like there's constant things like, is that Miss CHM? Constant things that you have to be paying for in there, and it all adds up. And that's why they don't like you to have like any outside hobbies. They don't want you to have any friends outside, because then you're going to be spending your money on other things. And they want everybody in the self-sealing system so they can rinse them dry. Hey Brett, that's my brother Ramsey. Love you, bro. Queen Alita. Oh, all right. So basically what my hypothesis is, but this is just what it is. They create these ministries. Love you, Queen. They create these ministries, yeah. Then they start indoctrinating people that you've got to now prove to them that you've got these fruits of the spirit. This is how they sell it, yeah. And they're like, oh, the fruits of the spirit is like outreach. And because they've been like preaching to you, aka indoctrinating you all this time, they want, oh, love you, mom. They want you to be indoctrinated to think, oh, okay, I need to be a leader. I need to invite people to the cult because this is what fruits are, the bearing of the fruit. So they say, oh, we've been preaching to you for all these years. We need to see what's inside of you. So they say, like, we've deposited all of this oil. Like the oil is like the anointing. Like it's like they hear the words of the man of God and they become anointed from the oil, which is the words of the man of God. This is how, guys, I'm exposing up big time doctrine. Like up the live, man. Come on, they tried to silence us for too long. Like it up, man. What are you telling me? So do you see how the fruits of the spirit goes so far away from Galatians 5:22, which is, you know, the long suffering and peace and bearing of the hey Jason, you know, it's characteristics that you gotta have, man, to be like Christ-like, but then they make it into doing works. Everything's about working there. But that's why I said salvation plus works plus faith equals salvation. It's not supposed to be like that. You're just supposed to believe in the gift of Christ. Hey, call me after. I love you, sis. I looked into my brother's cult uniform shop and they have bare stuff. Yeah, UCKG. This is what I'm saying. And I'm getting on to how the ministries, how they exploit people to buy all these uniforms and spend all the money. That's why even outside of the cult, they'll have a bit of the cult fit because they got to mix their bits. All right. Yeah, I'll definitely call you. They mix their bits. So if you're wet, because you know, Caris, they're staples like them dolly shoes and headbands, chair. You can always tell a Caris member by the way they dress, chair. That it's given very 2004 to 2007 circa. All right. As I said, it's given, you know, that beautiful, you know, very auntie, middle-aged vibe. Peplum, you know, fits at the top, A-line skirts, absolutely beautiful. You know, that's what I lived in. That's what I lived in before. I've got a whole drawer full of headbands. Not even my kids want it. You know what I'm saying? But that was it. Do you know, like, guys, if I went on YouTube, I would have gone and got all of the headbands from the drawer and just, do you want to test me? All right. Okay. All right. Because I fancy it tonight. And guys, this is not even the complete collection because I had to throw some away. Let me see. I'm sure that there's a whole thing of headbands share. Don't play with me, babes. If this is what we're going to do up, this is what we're going to do up. No, because people are testing me. Yeah, Babes, like, listen, yeah. You see the headbands? The headbands, yeah, are the staple. Like, when they're involved, like, woo, yeah, let's be careful, man. When they're involved, like, heavily, YouTube nearly got a free. These are just some of the collection of headbands, yeah, that I had. Like, you know, you'll be doing up. Do you get what I'm saying? This is what I was doing up. Let's take it back so you can get a good look. Look, this is what I was doing up, chair. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this is, look, I'm just trying to keep something. But look, this is a Caris. All of the Diamantes are gone because, as I said, my kids weren't having it, chair. But look, this is a Caris staple. It's really sad because the uniforms are so costly. Do you think these headbands were cheap? These are from Zara, chair. Are you having a laugh? It's not like the gal them are buying cheap pieces. They just look cheap. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because in there, you can't put things together in a certain way. Like, you can't be your true, authentic self. It's like they're trying to dress like someone else. They haven't got a clue. Woo, chat! No. Yeah. Oh, guys, look, this used to be my favorite one. But the thing is, I could style this one still, you know. I'm not going to throw this one away because I do like that you're going to have to buy it. Who has the Prince of Wales print laying about in your wardrobe? Ah! You know, we had to find the Prince of Wales print. I've actually got the blazer. Do you know what? I think I'm going to do a little one with the little pieces that I kept and try them on. Do you know what I mean? This was it, man. This is the Caris gal them. That's what I'm saying. Why are you like, we could be friends, babe? I've got some of the old bits. You get me? Like, there's bare hair, man. And then this is like, you know, like if you want a little, you know what I'm saying? Like, there might be a wedding. Maybe I had a wedding to do up. Tony, where's your wedding fit, chair? Tony looked like she was going to a ball gown. Like, guys, you got to wear the dresses have to be sweeping on the floor, chair. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to be called a strange woman at a wedding, like you coming there, because then everyone's looking at the gal them with the tight dresses on, and they're just sitting there so prim and proper, you know, like just judging everyone. Yeah, you had to buy it. Yeah, and you know what? My sister's saying it was so unfair. It was because you don't have any money to buy anything. When I knew our church was finished, oh my gosh! All right, let me get TikTok. When I knew our church was finished was when our pastor was paying £3 to £10. No, it wasn't up to £10, £3 to £5 for dresses. Selling them. Yeah, they were selling it. Yeah, selling them for £25 plus. Caris gal are the worst. I thank God I stopped dealing with them. Ooh! I've heard a lot about the Caris gal them. Them Caris gal them, they got the same baby daddy in the same branch and stuff. That's what's going on in their chair. Do you know what I mean? Caris are active in the cup. They're very. It's a proper little culture. So there's a lot of financial ABUSE in these ministries, man. And not only is there I'm doing like a focus on the finances because, as I said to you, you know, I was sent that by a survivor. I don't know if they want to be known. They can let me know, but I was sent that by a survivor. And it breaks down, you know, this was sent to me like last year. And I always remember I've used it for a lot of things. And it's a really good breakdown. Because I was like, what is our mandatory commitments? I weren't expecting my girl to come back with all of this. And I was like, whoa, it broke it down really well. So, and then they were like, one of the women was like, oh, is that what he did to you? Ask you for offering. I said to her, I started laughing. I put LOL at her comment because that's all I can do. It was my sister's words. All I can do is put LOL. Because we're not even scratching the surface, the question was, what is the mandatory financial commitments for someone as a bog standard like member attending? What are the mandatory? That's what the video is about. But because they're so indoctrinated, they can't take a moment to see how bad it actually is. Because I'm just giving you a little taste. I haven't gone into all the other facets of the ABUSE. That's just one. But when they're in it, and what you'll notice with the trolls, they comment on certain videos. The ones that they like, because remember that there's fault blocking. So once they start hearing a video and I start going into certain things, it just starts shutting it down. because of all of the thought blocking techniques that they use on them through the indoctrination, so that it's like their brain just starts to shut down as you go into something else. So it's really interesting to see the patterns and the trends in the behavior of the cult members, because remember, I'm a social scientist, so everything speaks to me. Everything speaks to me. And then I'm spiritual on top of that. It's literally as you pay, a pay as you go setting. Yeah, it's a pay as you go setting. It's a pay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about how they embed this and how it's interwoven in the fabrics of the culture of the cult and the systems, okay, and how they do it. So now I've explained the systems, how they set them up. I've explained the structures in them, because once you get in one of these ministries and you've been there for a while, you're going to feel like you want to like advance, because you're just in the same church going every single Sunday with the same people are in and out. They've got to use a lot of deflecting techniques as well, and distractions. They're doing all these events. CB in the car, are you free to talk tomorrow? I've been struggling lately. I feel so stressed. Yeah, what's tomorrow? Yeah, if my mental health's all right, I can definitely do it. But I will call you, even if it's like for a little bit, even if I can't, because I got a lot of time for you, girl. And you've never done that before, so I will call you. Yeah, I like CB. I got a lot of time, and I was thinking about you, CKG, and talk about the uniforms, and I thought about you. You come on, so that's definitely. Oh God! All right, girl. I'll call you tomorrow. I'll call you tomorrow, girl, because it's a lot. Everything's happening. Oh, I don't know how to keep up, but we're here. We're in the car. All right, girl. If I don't call you by like 5, call me. All right, but tomorrow will be fine. All right, so they've got these pyramid schemes. All right, let me finish this bit. No, maybe I'll call tomorrow because I'm a bit tired. Yeah, tomorrow, and then come on the live, innit? Because then we can do like one on Instagram, because it's better on Instagram where you come up, because it's a cleaner thing on the live, and then we can do it. But we'll talk tomorrow. We can even do that live tomorrow, actually. But we'll talk before, so I've got an idea. Yeah. Oh, I love you too, man. It's all love in here, innit? That's what it's about, man. That's what we're doing up. We got so much HATE. Do you know what I mean? The whole time that we were doing up that. So what we're just trying to do up now is just love, vibes, positivity. That's why they don't come up. I'm thankful I have an amazing girlfriend who's better looking than all of these indoctrinated women. I'm happy for you too. Do you know why I'm laughing? Because there's a lot of man. They've signed on the dotted line. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? Like when they were in the cult, they were just, doing up 50-50 dependent. Now they married their mama. They spend more time figuring out ways to get out of the house and be away from the woman than spending time with them. They're still having their fun. You always cross my mind. I know, I always think about you when I mention UCKG all the time. Child, it's just absolutely crazy in there. It's just the whole setup is just injustice. I think as the days are going on, everybody's becoming more and more aware of it, and it's just like, whoa, like we've got a big problem. People just need to stop coming. They need to stop going. But whilst there's vulnerable people in crisis, trauma, look at the mental health services. It's out of control. Nah, for real, UCKG changed me. It's like it's never gonna go away. Yeah, that's how I feel. That's how I've been feeling recently. I even said it today. On the live before you came here, girl. I said I'll never be the same again. That's it. And it's not a negative, because that's through the healing. We have to acknowledge it and accept that this is what's happened. Like, how do we heal? Like, how do we move on? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because it is something that's always going to be there. Do you understand? But we can heal and create new experiences from the trauma. That's the point of the collective, because we're starting to move out of the bubble of grief into new experiences, getting justice, taking our power back. Remember, this is what we stand for. UCKG makes people give their monthly salaries. I was shocked when they called it sacrifice. Oh, wow. Tony, your comment hasn't come through. Oh, it looks like UCKG is going to start getting a bit of exposure, chair. But it's so, do you know what? It's so good. UCKG, yeah, I just disassociate because it's so bad. People were walking to the church. Wow. Do you know, I've heard so many survivors saying that they gave like all of their money to the offering. They were walking miles. like to get home. Like, how can you do that and then like sleep at night? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, knowing that, because even if they're still putting food on the table, yeah, I am thinking about Twitch, but I need that. Don't. Oh no, I was on there the other day. I've got a Twitch. I will be going on there. Even if it's that they're not able to give their children like a certain quality of life, like when it like they're making enough to do holidays, put their kids out, like go on fit, you know what I mean, like have a nice car, but they're not doing it. Even Dad would even say like, we don't need a flashy car. So people don't really get flashy cars. The only reason why I had the Range Rover Sport was because I recruited my ex-husband in, and he was Nigerian. So they're loud. Do you know what I mean? He got this cherry red Sport with these red leather seats. And you see what I mean? They put people down like that. But as soon as he got that car, they started getting it. They put him in a suit and made him security. And then he was driving around like all of the guest ministers in his Range Rover Sport with his panoramic roof. Do you understand what I'm saying? My brother goes to their flagship branch. Oh my God. I can't even rise up today. I feel like I'll cry talking. Yeah, do you know what? It's such a weird energy. I was saying this. I've only just come out of a really manic depressive episode, Chair. I've only just come out of it. I don't even know how I got through it, girl. How I'm still here breathing. It was bad. The last 2 weeks has been, so that really does resonate. It really, really resonates. And I think the survivors are going through it. It's like, do you know what? Yeah. You know how we can look at the glass half full or empty? We need to get all of this out, because this has been pent up, like trauma, like all of the ABUSE that's just been stored in our body. It doesn't feel good when we're releasing it, when we're letting go, but it's part of it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, we've got to get the trauma out of our body. We've got, like, that's why I say speaking our truth. It helps. We can't, the people that have just put it to the back of their mind, they're church cult hopping, jail. What does an episode experience feel like? It's different for everybody. I can't say, like, for me, I go into like a manic, like really hyper, like doing up and then I have like really low lows where it's like I'm either or really low lows where I feel like I just can't do it anymore. And then I'll go from to just low, like just, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, man. It's like a roller coaster, very up and stuff is when their reality starts to get distorted, their hair and voice, they're thinking they're seeing people, you know, it just depends. So I really, and it depends, you know, like everybody's processing is different, their brain, their psyche is very complicated. I'm not a qualified psychiatrist, do you know what I mean, to speak on it. I can only speak from my personal lens. My moods will go from manic restlessness and then I'll feel down. Yeah, that's exactly what I just said. Like, everyone's saying same. Yeah, and sometimes I'm really hyper or I'm really low. Yeah. Do Caris wear green t-shirts, Leah? I saw them trying to talk to people outside of Waterloo Station. I was thinking, please don't come up to me, car. I'm about to tell you about yourself. LOL. No, they're the ones that wear yellow. But do you know what? Caris could be wearing green. Was it Proton? I wonder if it was Proton. Right now I'm feeling euphoria. Oh, wow. I love it when survivors talk about how they're feeling and their reflections and stuff. No, they wear yellow. Yes, yellow, innit? But you know, they could have changed it up, Jay. Sometimes, no, but Caris wear yellow. I'm sure it was them. They're saying I'm sure it was them, Leah. Woo! They might be changing it up. You look out for them. If you see Caris in green t-shirts, let me know. Because if I get one more person confirming that. But it's like this time now, they're getting younger kids to do it. Oh my God. Maybe it's the KP2. Yeah, maybe the KP2 have a different color, because I do see them in blue. When I deep it in my head, it's so gone and messed up. Joker's saying they only wear yellow. I have only seen them wear yellow, but the kids were young. Oh God. Oh my gosh, it's a lot, isn't it? We're going through a lot at the moment. I think, but imagine if we're going through that, they must be going MAD in there, child. they must, the members must be so, they must just be in a cognitive, you know, like spaced out. That's how I imagine they're in there, because they can't get out. But now it's like there's so much information out there, they can't escape it. And the most EVIL girls, they're married to the most dusty men in their chair. They must be suffering financially, because the man them, they don't have no real qualifications. And the women, it's like, because the men in there, they don't like, because remember I told you, like, Dad doesn't know what it's like to be a man. So he doesn't know how to, like, you know, narcissists, they don't love. So they're in a lot of loveless celibate marriages. It's mad. The same time we're going through it. I know. They've all got their colors in there. Yeah, it was. I think maybe a different branch. Okay. Well, you know, Karis are always outside in these streets. They're desperate at the moment. But I know my cult for sure. When y'all are out on outreach, you know, trying to recruit, I know people ain't having it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, from the looks of the CTA crowd, it doesn't look like, you know. Do you know, I was sitting there and I was thinking, oh, how the mighty have fallen, you know, like their glory days, like when they used to like be able to fill up these. And even if they're filling them up, it's not real numbers, like nothing's real in there. It's all an illusion, yeah. All right, let's get into what I was talking about now, yeah. So they create the ministries and then they have a leadership pyramid scheme within that, okay? Now, there's instructions and rules and books that the cult leader has written to give people instructions on how to be a good leader. So do you see the manipulation and also the mystical manipulation? Because there's the spiritual element behind it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Where he's taking the verses out of context. Do you see where it becomes indoctrination and part of the thought reform? Because now they're thinking that they're changing your thought processes. Do you understand what I'm saying? So now in your psyche, you're thinking, okay, I'm in this ministry to bear the fruits of the spirit, because they're preaching all of these messages and twisting and manipulating the scriptures. When you put it all together, your mind is just filled with this. Then you're listening to messages constantly. There's no time to process. There's no time to reflect. They don't want you to do that. That's why when they start to go into exposure, like people are exposing them, whatever, you'll see that they start fast. They start to do like conferences, like to put them into these mind altered, sleep deprived states where it's easier to indoctrinate them. So they're like in a bubble. It's like it's an even tighter bubble than the self-sealing system. Because when they're fasting and praying in my cult, they kind of like make it like part of the condition that you kind of will give up internet, or, you know, you'll be away from the world. It should just be you and God. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a lot. It's to further isolate members. But do you see, guys, how they do it with the ministries now? And then they've got the life mapping. So they're always talking about becoming a pastor, becoming a leader, bearing fruits, desire the sincere, earnest milk of the word. They make you feel like you have to develop from a baby into a mature Christian. Like that's how they sell it to you. That's how they get it. And then my cult leader takes it a step further and he'll be writing books. I know UCKG's got their own Bible where they're changing stuff in there as well, which is absolutely crazy. Dag's got his own Bible app. So they bring in all of this, and then it's like, they are telling you what the mandatory requirements to be a leader are. That is where they take on the pseudo personality of the cult leader, because that's his ideological perspective of what a good leader is according to his hypotheses of the word of God. Okay, so that's his own mindset, that's his own minds, his own thoughts, his own revelation, his own interpretation. Now, where the black and white dogmatic control comes into it is when they're saying to you, like, I was on a live, absolutely crazy. I've recorded it. I'll be putting content out tomorrow. The pastor saying to her, that is not the correct interpretation. But who are you to say that's the incorrect? So when you interpret it's right, when someone else interprets it, it's not right. All right, babe. So it's this type of ignorance. Hey, Cutie. It's this type of ignorance where people are saying, no, like in 2025, we just don't want this, babe. We're not here for it. So do you see that as they're reading the books, they're taking in the preaching, they're getting instructions, there's points to be a good leader. You will listen to Bishop's books. To be a good leader, point 1, to be a good leader, you'll listen to Bishop Dag's books. Point 2, to be a good leader, you will be found serving faithfully in the work of God. And then he'll use the scripture, well done, good and faithful servant. To be a good and faithful servant, and if you want to hear those words, well done by the Lord, you have to proton first. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. All things shall be added unto you. So you have to work for the Lord. The first thing is the first thing. It is working for the Lord. It is winning souls for Christ. Do you see how the mystical manipulation comes into it? Hey, Queen, how are you? It's been a minute, man. How are you surviving? You want to request? Oh, you think you can just request to be on my live and I'm going to let you on? Interesting. I don't think so. Oh, Lepin, You want me to marry you? Do you know what? I'm an Aquarius. We only live once. Why not? I do. Yes, why not? Let's fly away, let's fly away. You know, every time I sing that song, I think of Caris, because their uniforms are very, like, it's giving very air hostess, isn't it? Jet 2. Oh my God, you know, I should do Jet 2 and then have Caris there. I hate when I miss it though, you know, like when it was like popping, but the Jet 2 is still popping there. I'll do that when I come off the live, you know, just for fun. Jet 2 holidays. Oh my God, I love it, because that's what they're giving, you know, like Jet 2 air stewardesses. Like, we're ready to fly. We're flying for the ministry. Yeah, it'd be funny because, you know, okay, I'm gonna do it. Oh, look, we got airplane emojis and everything, man. Oh, do you not remember Sexy Chocolate from Coming to America? I believe the children are future. Teach them well, let them lead the way. I love that film. Is so good, man. You know what? The classics, yeah. All right, let's get on to it, man. This is the personality that they try to unalive. You know, this literal. I could have gone on any like reality thing. You know, back in the 2000s or whatever. I would have bust. I would have blown. But it's like, I've always been around haters. Do you know what I'm saying? But thank God for the collective. Thank the Lord Jesus Christ. But they just want you to be like everybody else. Everybody's got, that's the beauty of how God made us, to be ourselves. Individual, unique, fearfully and wonderfully made. Not to be like somebody else. That's the beauty. We're all supposed to be individual, man. Don't you see that these religious settings are exactly like society, the beauty standard of this? I saw that Sabrina Carpenter on the adverts, and I said, you know what? The blonde hair and blue eyes will always be the beauty standard of this country, no matter what. Even though it's getting more, we're seeing different people on the adverts. That will always be like the beauty standard. Well, it's changing now. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a bare corruption, man. You can't be anybody else because everyone else is taken. According to Dag, though, that's not the case. He believes if there were more people like him, that the world would be a better place. But I absolutely love that quote. Thanks, Queen. You know me, girl. You know, I'm just like, I don't think anyone understands. I'm up at 3 a.m. thinking about this. It's 24 hours a day. I just cannot let it go. Oh, I missed you too, my love. I can't let this go. It's the ADHD. It's a mixture. It's a mixture of stuff. And no one does me like this. Like, you can't play the player. That's what I'm saying. Like, who's laughing now, babe? Who's feeling played now? Who's feeling like an idiot now? Not me, baby. Not me, baby. Not me. Because I'm a woman with nothing to lose. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm a woman with zero to lose. Do you get me? Like, y'all got everything to lose. Even if you come for me, babe, I ain't got SHIT. I ain't got a damn thing, babe. Get in the line, get in the queue with the same debt I'm in, because you lot took me for every penny I had. Get in line, baby. You could do whatever you want, yeah. I don't care. Need a holiday. My girl is in Angola, missing her. Oh, yeah, have a little break, man. I don't care. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, me not care. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do what I'm doing, or I'm gonna unalive trying, because either way, you get what I'm saying? I'm living with this chronic illness. I can't even do nothing anyway. Thank the Lord for the internet. All right. So do you see, as they start to put instructions and rules, and then they've got books, they've got actual requirements, mandatory requirements on how to become a leader and what makes a good leader, and it's all to become more like the cult leader. And then they say to you, look, there's an easy way out. If you come to the waiting ministry and you're waiting around and you're under the man of God, and you got to get closer to like men of God, because it's like the reputation, and so you'll be recommended. And when you move with great men, because you know that scripture, evil communication corrupts good character, that whenever they're preaching about that, yeah, they then go on to like, that's why it's important to, like, you know, be with like the same, like, to have Christian friends, like people in the cult basically, and they'll be talking about getting close to the man of God and catching the anointing. It gets deep, guys. So they take on the personality because they want to be a good leader. They want to get up the ranks. They want to you know, because it becomes your life. You've left all your social stuff, your hobbies, like your friends, whatever. This is your life now. So it's like all or nothing. And remember, it's very RADICL. It's very like extreme. So it's like go all out for Christ, like unalive for Christ, suffer for Christ, sacrifice. You'll see a lot of this popping up in the comments when they're trying to come at us. And I just sit there and laugh because I'm like, oh my God, I used to be the queen of this. I used to teach people this. I spent a lot of time with Richard. Oof. So you're going to have to do, did you, because I had to do a lot of shedding of the narcissism. There's still bits there. I'm still healing and shedding it off, but it was, you get a lot of narcissistic traits being close to these people, and taking in, if you've taken in a lot of this doctrine from like a malignant narcissist, you're going to have to spend a lot of time, you know, deconstructing around like what narcissism is, like really being a lot of pent up aggression and anger as well, man. Oh, I was talking about my connection. Do you know I've got this box that I need to connect so I get faster internet, and I still haven't done it. It's been there for months. That's ADHD, innit? I need to go and do it. I think I've just got to plug it in. I haven't even looked at it, and I'm paying for it as well. That's ADHD. All right, let's get into it, man. Even what I'm doing is ADHD, talking about my internet box, like, do you know what I'm saying? But anyway, because I know that you guys, most people that like follow me and be on my lives, they be neurodivergent. So it's like we just go together. We go together. Do you know what I mean? I love the neurodivergence, man. It's just so real. You don't feel like you have to force anything. Like I met up with Lisa the other day. We were both there disassociating, sometimes not talking, just chilling. It's just, there's no pressure to be something else or have to, you know, like I said, I came and I said, oh, like I'm in pain, I'm depressed, like I can only do that. There's no pressure to stay with each other longer, or we're respecting each other's boundaries. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like we don't have to turn up fake. Like if we're depressed or something's going on, it's like we're talking about the realness. Like that's what we need. That's refreshing. And we have that in the collective. So they take on the personality to prove themselves and to gain validation and acceptance. Keyword, to gain validation and acceptance, because they need to socially conform. The leaders need to see that you have been socially conformed and embedded into the environment. Yeah, life is so much better without the mask. And that's what I had to come to the realization. I've been masking, and I'm a high functioning whether it's I'm a high functioning or autistic woman with ADHD or whatever it is I've got, I'm high functioning. But because of the trauma and all of this, I've noticed a lot more things, and I've been having like a mental diary. So I know what I'm going in to tell them, because they need to understand what I go through, chair. Because as I'm getting older, there's certain things I can't mask, you know, and we shouldn't mask it. We should be proud of who we are. All right. So they start to gain validation and validation and acceptance. Sorry. This includes that the way they dress, because again, they're very judgy. Everything's about external judgment in there, external judgment and validation. So what happens is that through the judgment and the validation, the dressing, the mindset, the culture in the cult is that your self-worth is attached to the work that you're doing in the cult. And then there's like the competition culture in there, where it's like, oh, I'm a Bacenta leader. Oh, but we are all Bacenta leaders, but there are Bacenta leaders. And then there are Bacenta leaders. There are Bacenta leaders of Bacenta. There's a difference. You are a Bacenta leader and you have three people in your Bacenta that you've had for 3 years, and it's 3 people. You have a Bacenta and you have 100 people in the Bacenta. The anointing is different. The bearing of fruits is different. The anointing on the man of God's life is different. Do you see the manipulation and just the human fecal mal? Because someone could have one person in that Bacenta, they could have been homeless, could have been great growing up. Do you know what I'm saying? Could have had no parents, could have taken them in like their own child, brought them up like their own child, you know. Did you clothe me when I was... Did you feed me when I was hungry? They've done that for one life. And that's why they like black and white thinking. That's why they like dogmatic thinking. That's why they want to control your every thoughts, because they don't want you to control, like, they don't want you to think like this, because this is just common sense. All right. So do you see that to gain acceptance and validation, because a woman's not going to be able to rise up the ranks dressing how I dress. She's going to be seen as a Jezebel. She's going to be seen as a 304. She's going to be seen as a whatever. All the names under the sun. I would show you pictures in the uniforms, but I deleted them. Yeah, we deleted a lot. Yeah. So to be accepted and to be seen as a serious candidate for marriage, for leadership, for anything, they have to assimilate into the environment. They have to become the ideal of what how the mog or how that leader visualizes a wog or a mog. Yeah. I'm not going to take anyone up today, babe, because my energy levels are a little bit low. So when my energy is, because I've been sleeping for the whole day, so I'm going to take people tomorrow because I'm so drained. So tomorrow I will do a live, but today I just can't take any people because and I need to preserve my energy for tomorrow as well. But I will definitely let you up to it. Thanks for respecting that, Queen. I appreciate you. This includes the way that they dress, because again, it's the external judgment and validation that they put in their appearance. Appreciate you too, baby girl. It's the because that's why they're so judgy. Don't you get it? Because they think like there's certain gal in there, and I'm pro-choice, so I'm not here to judge you. But according to the book and according to how I know they are in their chair, she's already done 10. Yeah, she's got 10 bodies on her chair. But now, because she's the praise and worship leader and she's in her floral fit and wearing her head wrap, now she's sitting there judging a girl that's just walked in the setting because she's got on a tight dress and probably hasn't ever even done that. She might have been with one man in her whole life. But do you see how that way of thinking is absolute human fecal matter? Do you understand? Do you get what I'm saying? Do you not see it? Do you see why it just don't make no sense? Yeah. Do you see why? Because we're not supposed to be judging. He who is without sin cast the first stone, man. That's why. Because you don't know someone's story, bro. You don't know why someone ended up where they ended up. You don't know why someone's been through what they've been through. You've never walked a mile in their shoes, yeah. That's why it's all vanity in there, man. It's all vanity in there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's going to resonate with you, babe. If you're from UCKG, it will resonate with you because our cults are similar. Everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Yes. They're going through things. They're going through battles you don't know. That's why we have to try, man. That's one of my things I'm trying to do now is not be so like taking out the anger, the projection. But how I got to this place was through the shadow work. I had to face it, the anger. I had to come face to face with me and the monster that I was as a result of being in that setting. And I had to be honest and truthful with myself. I'm still lost. You know what? We're going to be doing a live. There's a survivor in here. We're going to be doing a live on UCKG tomorrow. I think people need it. And this is the thing. I think now it's getting to a point, just to let you know, babe, I've got a YouTube channel, Leah Lord the 7 yet. And the reason I'm telling you about this is because I haven't been able to get to 10K on one individual account because they're always reporting it up. So on there, I've actually got playlists. It's not all of my content, but it will help you share. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, because I've got playlists with themes and you're still angry. Yeah. And what I would say is, I think you should come to the next Survivor link up, man. Everyone should try and come, because if there's a lot of us as well, what we can do is we can do some releasing work in a park, like just go somewhere and just scream, just shout, just let it out. Because I was thinking I need to do that. I need to just go somewhere, you know, like out in nature and just shout, like just release, you know, like just things like that. Because we can say we're angry and we can keep saying it and the years will go on and we'll still be angry and we'll still have the trauma stored up in our body. Or I can put out a date and I can say, come on, let's go into the field, let's have a picnic and let's scream, let's let out the anger. Let's start to release some of this trauma. Let's start to do something about this for ourselves. I've told my friends who are still in the cult today, oh, yeah. When did you leave, girl? When did you leave? All right. So do you see that through the way that they dress, that's validation, being a leader, bearing the fruit according to the cult leader, their self-worth becomes the role and the function in the church cult. This is what I clocked today. This is why we fall apart. because our self-worth, and also there's like a spiritual DNA thing that happens where you start to look at these people like your family. And I have spoken to a lot of different survivors that have been like, either there's a reoccurring pattern with survivors losing a parent, either whilst in the cult or before, or being an orphan. That's when they really get their clutches into you, because they can, pull on your emotional strings around a family. So it's like that will bring up a lot of like repressed, or it will bring up a lot of like fears, like abandonment, rejection, like all of those things from your childhood. So instead of, what you need to do is like really decompartmentalize that. You don't try and deal with everything at once. Maybe just start with the childhood stuff and start releasing that, and just be in the flow of it. Remember, it's like a river. You're trying to flow in the same direction. It's like a tide. It's like a wave. If you're trying to fight that, you're not, you're just, what? You've got to try and go with it, is what I'm saying. I hope it will resonate. Like let he who has an air hair, because when I speak about like what I feel is the movement of God, or how God speaks to me, it's through nature. And God, I believe God actually revealed to me that that's one of the main ways God speaks is through nature, because that's like the beginning. That's the oldest. How did God say it? I've written it down. It's it's like the ancient way. Like they used to listen to the breeze and look at the sun and the planets. And do you know what I mean? For like to know when certain times were changing, and to figure out pregnancy and all things like that. So when God is really speaking to you, that's why when they talk about currency and stuff, I know they're a liar and the truth ain't in them, because that's not from God. Give Caesar what belongs to Caesar, yeah. God's wealth is in his creation. God is a creator, not a money printer. Yeah. So God will speak to you a lot, like in plants, or like in nature, because everything's one. It's like, I hope people understand what I'm saying, yeah. So that's why God was speaking to me the other day about the river flowing, and I was like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. Rather than trying to fight it, do you know what I mean? Just kind of go in with that flow of life. So basically, in essence, what I'm saying is healing is not linear. We all have different ways to heal. We all have, different processes. You'll never really find like an answer per se, but you will find an answer depending on your depth, on how you see things. Do you get what I'm saying? That's why I say it's all about going within, because you might be deconstructing or deprogramming down a certain lens, like let's say intersexual feminism, for example. And then so how I will be speaking, you will be putting the pieces together from the other things that you've been doing up. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the pieces of the puzzle start to fit together depending on your psychosocial lens of the topic, because it will depend on your deconstructing and deprogramming and what route you're going down, if that makes sense. All right. I think I'm gonna go for a C after this, and then C. Yeah. All right. So their self-worth is wrapped inside the role that they are doing in the cult. It becomes your identity. My friends have told me to stop going. Yeah, definitely. It's the best decision you'll make, girl, because you'll just waste your life like me. Do you know? And the realness is, not everybody's gonna look like, they're in their early 30s when they're going into their 40s. That's the truth. So, if you're young, get out. Because I'm not, it's just the grace. Do you know what I'm saying? A lot of people come out, and that's why they start to feel like resentment and things like that. Do you understand what I'm saying? And a lot of people, like, the longer you stay in there, the more it starts showing on your and right now, I wouldn't want to be in any of these cults, because it's going to be harder to recruit. There's going to be so much pressure and stress. And the reason I'm trying to get out more content and make more of a raw is because now the people that they're getting in, they're going to be love bombing them a lot more and being just even more fake, because they're desperate. You're only 37. Yeah. How long were you in there for, babe? Yeah, that's why, it's because it's up to you, chair. But you'll be like them aunties in there. Do you know what I mean? Monthly saving to get the £200 UCKG coat. And you wouldn't even have a cat. Them ones, because they demonize everything in there. They don't want you to have no pets as well. That's why the pandemic, it was like, I had the dogs, and it started to change things. The pandemic really changed a lot of things, man. Oh my gosh, these places are just so, from 2018. Oh, I'm so sorry, girl. Yeah, girl, get out of there now, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, You need to live your life, because it really does fly by. Do you know what I'm saying? Kids make you realize like how much the time is flying by. You know them ones when you had a baby the other day, now they're like looking like a big woman. So I would say, you know, don't give those, because you'll end up like them aunties in there, you know, them shelved aunties. Because girl, in the cult, they're saying, oh, marry a girl when she's 20. There's so much emphasis. They make you feel like, you know, like you're a mother Hubbard. Why? Because they want you to marry when you're DUMB, young, vulnerable, naive. That's why you go out into the world. Oh my God, you lot, I got this young ninja that's on it, man. I just can't go true because he's just too young. You know what I mean? But for his age, child, whew, he is fine as hell, child. I was quite flattered. And he's really like, but you know me, I always have to have a little young hitter around, yeah. I told you, they love me, man. The hood loves me, yeah. They just love me. And you know, when they're young, they want to prove themselves so much. They'll do anything. They're so excited, you know, because when they're young like that as well, and they start, you know, like seeing life, and then they can travel, and, you know, they can drive and woo. All right. They want you to be isolated, so you heavily rely solely on them. Yeah, absolutely. Leah, which cult excluding first love is the one to worry about right now? UCKG. I think UCKG. Because even after all of the things that have come out, they still got people standing strong with them since Victoria Kalimbe. But do you know what? UCKG is, it's a lot of witchcraft, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, because that's spell work. It's another level. I don't know. I'm hoping that someone will cut like the FYP, someone's algorithm around like Brazilian judge, because that's what I need. I need to understand the spiritual practice behind it to expose it. I'm not gonna lie, I still have spiritual attacks. Yeah, because of the psyche, the way that they've programmed you is psychological. Because you're still when you leave physically, but psychologically you're still bound. Because they've programmed your mind. Imagine your mind's like a computer, my love. And the thing is, we have to deprogram and deconstruct. If we don't deprogram and deconstruct, we won't be able to get over it. We have to actually put in the work to like engage with cult psychoed, watching documentaries. And you won't feel like anything's happening. For about a year, you won't feel like anything's happening. But maybe because we're a collective and we're all speaking, I think it's happening quicker, because for me, it took a year. Do you get what I'm saying? I was supposed to do these deconstructing things, but my mental health's been so bad. All right. So basically, how you begin to deprogram is, first of all, I would look up cult. All right. Let me say this quickly. And I've got content on all of this. So if you go on the two main pages, Leah Lauder 7 and Leah.Lauder are my two main pages. If you scroll right from the bottom and you just did like, what do people say that they do up when they watch my content? Binge watch the content. By the time you get to the top of the content, you will be like open to deprogramming. You should have got to a point where now you can find your feet and start to make sense of what happened to you. Yeah. So start with the cult characteristics. Okay. And especially my Leah Lauder 7 page, yeah, because I was doing a lot more cult psycho ed. That's what I'm going back to now. I was doing a lot of cult psycho ed stuff, but then I was just getting angry when the survivors were coming up and giving me, like, they all started coming in. That's when I just started going into just beefing everyone, chair. Do you know what I'm saying? But I do like characteristics of a cult. Like I got the power and control with a lot of models. It's very kind of like very cult psycho-edish. So yeah, so start off with characteristics of a cult. What is a cult? How do cults recruit? Like, any questions that you've got, go and put them in ChatGPT, AI. They'll give you all the questions. You can do it fast track because there's so much information. But the problem is they've made you codependent like a little child. And you've had to go to the pastor or you go to a service. This is why I'm taking the time to break it down to you, girl. Because it's like we feel like we need to get like the answers are from everyone, and that's what's going to be your most difficult struggle, having to go within self, spend time on your own. Like, I've only just mastered being able to be still. Like today was the first time I had nothing on and I was just being still. When they used to say, be still in the Lord, they say these things, wait on the Lord, be still. It's just all words. They're just throwing words into the air, word fillers. They can't tell you how do you practically be still, be? How you gonna get there? How you do it? In that cult for 18 years, been out for years, and only now I can say that I know how to be still. I've mastered that spiritual practice of being still and being with self and being able to be alone. So if I was the last person on this planet and I had to live with myself, I could do it. I could, and that's being able to survive. Yeah. UCKG is dangerous and calculated. Yes. Opportunist. Yes, they're opportunists. They just released a book about abuse. And here in SA, they're planning a trip for women to go to Israel in October. Who released the book about ABUSE? Which cult's that, girl? Or you don't want to say? Don't feel pressure. So do you see how you need to get out of that by making your own decisions and your own choices? Because you've always gone to a pastor, you've always had some leader or someone to check things over like you're a little child. So now you need to grow into like your own. From what I researched, that they are more of a threat than first love. Yeah, because Macedo's got more like he's financially, because it will come down to finances, isn't it, as well? That's why I think he's been able to go on for it's all the contacts that he has out there, isn't it? Why he's been able to go get away with the corruption. And you know they'll rarely get the cult leader. That's why you have to leave the cult leaders to God. That's what I believe. If you're an atheist, then karma, time, whatever. Do you understand what I'm saying? But me, I leave the main ones to God, because you know it might happen in this lifetime. Though you never know. But you know you have to leave them to God, chair. Because if I thought like that, I'd turn myself crazy. I'm just concerned about speaking my truth and exposing them up, because I'm not an idiot in it. I'm no one's idiot. I've never been an idiot a day in my life. I was indoctrinated, so now I'm exposing them up. So does that make sense, babe? I would start with Cults Explained. You can watch it on Netflix or you can watch it on YouTube. Cults Explained. This is why I need the playlist feature. Because what I would have been able to say to this survivor right now. So if you're not following me, please do follow me on my main account, Leah Lauder 7, because I've got 8 accounts. I'm trying to build one from one main account. I would have been able to say to you, oh girl, go to the what are we talking about? Go to the deprogramming folder, and all the content would have been there for my girl. All of my deprogramming videos, everything. That's what I need on TikTok, man. That will change the game. Because I'll just be saying to survivor, oh, go on the Karis folder. I don't have to speak them, because it's all in the folders. Like, babes, I've got time for that, chair. This app is perfect. It's like the app has been created for the movement, like what we need. That's why I have patience. I don't care. I'll have patience, babe. The way it works on, especially with this app, you just need one viral video. You can wake up tomorrow and you've gained 10,000, 50,000 followers. Do you understand? It's about faith. I'm a woman of faith. If I have faith as small as a mustard seed, I can say to the mountain, be removed. And it will be removed. Is it just Karis? No, it's any church that has characteristics and cult tactics, my love. They have to be demonstrating the cult characteristics and tactics. And survivors have to come forward. Survivors have to be coming forward. So usually the cults that I expose are where I've had usually how it works is when it's really bad, there's always someone that will come forward. That's like the main person that drives it forward for one of the cults. Like there's one that I'm going to be exposing pretty soon. And the next one, there's about 3 new cults that are coming up. Yeah. And I've heard the names going around in my head. So when a survivor comes forward and really start, because it's all God like in the background. Do you understand them? When I start doing the meetings and things like that, survivors can share. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like how they got to know, like how the FYP it came up on the or how they got to know me or the content. It's always like God or like some mad synchronicities, or do you get what I'm saying? Like it's really, and I don't want to keep going on so much about God, but the truth is, guys, I really, like God is my lifeline. I really don't know where I'd be without God. And I can't do a live not talking about God, to be honest. I just don't want it to feel isolating for atheists, and I don't want it to feel triggering for people who have just come out, but I don't think hearing God was triggering for me. It was more how they speak in there and saying scriptures. Like I don't think I'm hoping I wouldn't trigger anyone, but I think that's good that I've got self-awareness to be thinking, reflecting in action. Do you know what I mean? Like, how are the survivors feeling? I think that awareness is really, really important. Don't you agree, guys? Self-awareness, like that's what I think helps us to be kind and, empathetic to others is so important. Oh yeah, Mercedes is wealthy and he has political power. He is very calculated. I'm convinced he's a psychopath. Yeah. Yeah. It's so dark. You say UCKG is so dark, man. Do you know what I mean? Even with that boy, Luca. Remember what that happened to that little boy? It's just like, how is this man getting away with it? The injustice is a lot. So I'll start doing some content on that. We've got CB. CB's gonna come on tomorrow, so that's good. And then when I saw the uniforms and what's going on, that it's that UCKG, yeah, there's a lot of dark spiritual practices that have gone on there. There's a lot of, spell work. They're literally they're like under hypnosis in there. Yeah. So guys, I think I'm gonna end the live tonight. Does anybody have any questions? Guys, has tonight been a good one? Guys, I've got so much, honestly. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about that as well. I'll do that. So, all right, let me read this out. This is another thing that came to me the other morning. So what I've also been reflecting on is we've got all of these mega, what's the CCs, yeah? Oh, I love you guys, man. The plan for tomorrow is to call you Joker. You're the first person I have to call, bro. That's the plan. If you're free, that's the plan. I was even sitting there thinking, oh my God, what's up, Joker? I had the phone in my hand. Yeah, I just kept on falling asleep. I was like, oh no, man. I was like, Joker's not a bitch. You'll understand. Like when I come on the live, he won't be acting all, like how the man them in them settings act. You get me? I'm gonna call you tomorrow. So they've kind of, like I was thinking about these big institutions. I was like, at what cost has these institutions been built? Oh my God, Instagram can't even see me. Because it's the way that they act here is like it's magically formed, like, through all the prayers and stuff that they're doing. But it's all of the work. It's us being on our foot bottom, walking up and down, serving from 7 a.m. till 3 p.m. All the calls that we're making, the follow up, being in people's business, visiting all the people, rinsing ourselves out, chair. We have built these institutions with our blood, sweat, and tears, given our lives. All our free time is building these church cults, going out, visiting people, doing up recruitment outreach, going and praying for everything revolves around these cults. So they sold it to us that for the greater good of mankind, we needed to have these big spaces, yeah? And that the good has outweighed the bad. Guys, I don't even know what I wrote here. This is the first time I'm writing it. I wanted to share it with you. Wait, hold on. And that the good. Oh, okay. So it's been sold to us that for the greater good of mankind, and that the good has outweighed the bad in the advancements in technology. But in the advancements of technology, oh, okay. So they've tried to tell us that the good has outweighed the bad in the advancements of technology, like like cars to get us around, but it's polluted our earth. Do you understand what I'm saying? In the advancements of technology, and it is good because it's allowed us to communicate and direct information, communication, this, that, and the third. But then we've been able to, you see, like what Russia has, and those big countries, what they've produced as a result of the advancement of technology. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So we've seen over the years that capitalism has done more damage than good. And now we've seen that it's just all been lies. You know how they've sold it to us, like all these systems and this and that, and like when the politicians lie, etc. And the CCs, the church cults, they do exactly the same thing. They sell you a dream, and then over time you see that it's just all lies, all an illusion, just like the world that we're living in. And on that note, I'm going to give it a pause for us to reflect on that, because that's deep. But remember, guys, there's always a way out, and that is through going within. because heaven is a state of mind. They see everything as an external, physical factor. They don't, even the parables, it's philosophical. They won't be able to understand that because there's no free thinkers, there's no free thought in there. If you don't have free thought, like free will, and you're not a free thinker, you can't connect to God, because God is so like flowing. It's like a river. Like you can't be stiff. It's like, if you imagine these cult leaders, it's like they've put, what's that thing, a dam, the river dam. It's like they've put that in there so it stops the flow of it. They're actually blocking your communication to God. That's what they're doing on Period Point Blank. And on that note, I think I'll end with my favorite Maya Angelou quote. People will forget what you did. People will forget what you said, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And in these spaces, everything is about cutting you off from your feelings. It's not about how you feel. Don't get moved by your feelings. Don't get moved. You need to be led by the spirit. You need to. So it's like they use that leading of the spirit to cut you off from your intuition, cut you off from your gut, cut you off from your feelings, cut you off from following your heart. When in all honest truth, guys, I think if anybody said like, Leah, what's the one bit of advice that you could, it would be to follow your heart. Thank you, look within, follow your heart. Because like me with my ex, it's been such a horrible breakup, and it's just been awful. But it's like at the end of it, I'm like, is it better to have loved than to not have loved? And I say, but again, philosophy's saving me. Philosophical thought in getting over a breakup, I deeply recommend. So in saying that, I do, I think it's better to have loved. I'm an Aquarius, I'm an old romantic. So I would have liked to have loved than to have not got that experience, even though there's been the trauma of having to rebuild. And so again, it's about seeing the glass either half full or half empty. Guys, let's just try and start looking at things that we can take from it, that we can start to move forward and try and heal. And obviously that's not an easy ask, because if anybody said that to me before, I'd want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't chat to me like that, Jay. I don't want to hear it. So I'm trying to test the waters to see where people are at. But if you're not ready, again, just take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Yeah. So I love y'all. I'll be back tomorrow, probably in the morning. But if I can't sleep, you might get me back on. Maybe TikTok. You lot, man, I have to get some lighting in here. The butterfly effect. Ooh. Look how it's just all come full circle, innit, Lucia, with that? Because we've been talking about us being like butterflies, the collective, and I think we've been through this cocooning process. I think we're coming now. It's like this rebirth, transformation, turning into this beautiful butterfly and getting our wings back. Because that's what it is that you said, Lucia, isn't it? It's like they cut our wings off. We can't fly. We can't, no self-expression, no autonomy, no creativity, no self-love. Our self-worth and identity is wrapped in this pseudo personality, this fake personality, chair. So when we get our wings back, we can finally fly. And on that note, I'm going to leave it there. Isn't that lovely, guys? I've loved it. I love y'all. I hope that will leave you with something really warm and lovely. Okay. So, hey girl, that will leave you with something really warm and lovely, because a lot of us don't have a man or have a gal, you know what I'm saying, to tuck us in or say anything nice to us. So I love you. And I hope you have a really lovely evening. Okay. And sweet dreams. I hope you have lovely dreams tonight. And I will see you either later or in the morning. Love y'all. Let me say bye to TikTok. Thank you. Night, everybody. You're absolutely amazing. You're beautiful people. You're absolutely amazing. You're absolutely amazing. Instagram. Absolutely amazing. Thank you for sharing your evening with me. And you, YouTube. I'm really enjoying YouTube. If you haven't noticed, I've been on a lot more. It's taken a while because I've been struggling with my mental health. And there was just like a fair. I don't know. I was seeing YouTube like a bigger platform. I don't really have the technology. I had to let go of a lot of ego because I was thinking, I'm just like hair in my bed and I don't really have like the funds to be doing up, like all of these fancy studios, how it all is on there. And people have been riding with me, man. I don't even want to get emotional. People have been rocking with me. They've been supporting the thing. I've got more subscribers than some people who have all of these fancy, sets and studios and whatever. So that ain't me. That's the collective. That's the power of the collective. And I know that. And I appreciate the support. I appreciate the people, all of you lot that subscribe. I love you and appreciate you. Thank you for helping me do what I love, exposing Dagu and Mills and advocating for survivors, very vulnerable people that Some of them can't have a voice. They're too traumatized. But they feel safe enough to tell their story to me. And then I feel bold enough to speak on their behalf and say whatever needs to be said. So please, this ain't for me. Do you think I want to be on YouTube with sunglasses and being in my bed? No. I never thought that I'd see the day where I would be exposing myself to the world like this, but it's come because I've fallen in love with... Love you too, Michelle. I've fallen in love with the collective. I really, really love you guys. I appreciate your support, like being there. Like everything you've done for me, guys, like giving me a purpose and a reason to live and fight another day. And I do think that the energy exchange is mutual. We come off it and we feel so good. It gives me a reason to wake up and just even fix myself to brush my teeth. Because it gets hard, man. You know what that's like when you can't even get up to brush your teeth. Like, so depressed, you can't even, your body feels like lead, you can't move. I'm dealing with physical pain, and then my mental health starts deteriorating even more. Every day, I'm just trying to survive because I've decided to be in the present and feel everything that's going on instead of escaping myself and running away from myself and putting myself in vulnerable situations because I'm not dealing with the trauma. I'm finally manning up. I've finally stopped running. Finally staying still to process the trauma and everything that's happened so that I can truly heal. And the most special part about it is that you guys have been right beside me, with me in this journey, and we've been doing it together as a collective. So I love y'all. And I'll be back tomorrow morning, okay? Come on, you show up. If I'm showing up, y'all better get y'all ass up and show up, man. All right? Love y'all. Night, Miss Rose. Bye, guys.